Otaku are gonna keep the gift train going, and I have a very special gift for you guys. How do I know what you want? You didn't tell me. Well, I have a hunch, guys. We're gonna figure this out. What we have is a little special conversation with Adam McArthur. He's a prolific voice actor, but most notably, he voices Yuji Itadori, the protagonist in Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes! I crushed it! I already told you that I don't have it anymore. Don't end up like me, huh? Well, no chance of that.
We're big fans of Jujutsu Kaisen here. We talked about it in the other episodes, but Adam took some time to talk to us about the arc of his character, the interesting evolution of the series in its second season, and just the state of the anime industry in general. It was a really cool talk, and if you like Jujutsu Kaisen or not, it's just a really interesting conversation about the anime industry. So, Adam, let's take it away. Den of Otaku would like to welcome Adam McArthur to the show. He's an excellent voice actor who can be heard in Tokyo Revengers, Bungo Stray Dogs, and Jujutsu Kaisen. And Adam, welcome.
Thanks so much, dude. Thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah, of course. And I've loved Jujutsu Kaisen from the start, and I think it does such a great job with like world building and character development. But the second season kind of blew me away with just how much bigger it feels and how the scope has really been expanded. How would you kind of necessarily compare the second season to the first?
It's exactly what you said. It is a total expansion on what we got in the first season. And I totally agree. The first season felt really about the introduction of the characters, and we kind of get into like a good rhythm with the story, but it really expands on there. And all of the knowledge that you got in season one, you really need to take into season two to remember, because the story jumps place to place, and we're building off these ideas of like the cursed spirits, the cursed techniques, the domain expansions. I always say Jujutsu Kaisen's a big brain show. Like, you gotta have a notepad when you watch it, because there's a lot of stuff to keep track of. So
that's what I love so much about the second season, and just how it felt like it was turning into a different kind of show. And I love that even the prequel movie like focuses on different characters. The whole hidden inventory prologue to the second season, all of this gets away from your character. And as someone who's also just a fan of the show, was it kind of fun to watch these stories that got away from Yuji a little bit?
Totally. I mean, I was like mad I wasn't in the movie, but like, no, I'm just kidding. I still think actually that they missed a golden opportunity. You know, at the end of the episodes in season one, we had the Jujutsu strolls, or the Juju strolls. And they were these little quirky things that happened at the end of the season. I really wish there was a Juju stroll at the end of the movie that was just Yuji, Megami, and Nobara coming in and being like, "What do you mean we're not in the movie?" Because they break the fourth wall all the time. Thought that would have been hilarious. No, I think it's really interesting. What I love is when an author gives the audience credit. That they don't feel like they have to lay everything out right away. That stuff is paid off later on that you're supposed to remember. And I think Gege, the author of Jujutsu Kaisen, is doing an amazing job. And to Mappa's credit, the studio that's developing it and doing it as the anime, I also think they're doing an amazing job adapting the manga. So it's really cool. It's been awesome. I think if you are keeping up with the weekly releases of the manga, we're also coming out of like a very Gojo-centric time. So it's been a lot of Gojo. I'm really ready for like Yuji to get back in there. But it's also, like I said, it's a really cool thing that we're sort of taking these like offshoots, and then we're going to see it all get tied together.
Yeah. And I think it makes the audience that much more grateful for those original characters when you spend some time away from them. And I mean, inevitably you have those threads connect, and it will be so exciting if, you know, Yuji does meet Yuta from the movie and just have all that stuff come together. Like, that's the best way to tell that story, I think.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah. The series as well is like one of the Shonen Jump's Dark Trio series, and those are like three very popular shows that are also very mature and violent. And why do you think necessarily that kind of heavier material is having such a moment right now, or why the show became such a hit right away?
Yeah, I think for JJK specifically, the characters are all, there's something for everybody in JJK. And I also think that what's interesting about Yuji specifically is he's not so heavily focused on himself and the progression of like his own motives, that really he's doing this because he wants to take care of people and make sure everyone's okay. I think there's like a golden retriever quality to him that people really kind of can relate to, but also like really are drawn to. But yeah, there is something for everyone in JJK. And with anime in general, I think we get these like life lessons that everyone can relate to in some form or the other. I just think JJK is doing it really well.
Yeah,
so
I agree. They also just announced a video game for the series, Cursed Clash.
Yeah.
Like that, has that been a fun experience to be a part of? Are you a big gamer yourself?
Super fun. Yeah. I played video games forever. I mean, Nintendo through my Series X now. I'm more a battle royale guy. Like I love Apex Legends. But working with Bandai was amazing. The experience of working on Cursed Clash was really cool. It's sort of different than, even though we basically had to like redo season 1, but in video game form.
Sure.
Which is interesting because one of the other things I love about JJK is you get these really like subtle grounded moments in the anime. So it's not necessarily all like super anime acting, you get some moments where it feels like real people are talking to each other. But for a video game, you don't really want that. So they released a trailer recently, and it's basically clips of all the lines, but all the lines are said in like in a video game. So, you don't want someone going like Black Flash. In a video game, it'll be buried under sound effects. You'll never hear it.
Sorry, but I didn't come here to lose. As long as I'm here, we've got this. I'm putting it all out there. Yeah!
It was interesting working and seeing sort of the direction and how lines were directed in the video game versus the anime and things like that. But I think the game looks beautiful. And I've never really played one of the Arena Fighter games. So it'll be cool to check it out. I missed the Fortnite just did a collab with Jujutsu Kaisen.
That's right. Yeah.
I missed the collab. Like I don't really play Fortnite, but I was like, I got to get on there and get the Yuji skin.
Yeah.
But I missed it. I didn't get it. So I've got to make sure that I play Cursed Clash.
It's such a perfect property for a video game, and it's just exciting that anime video games have come so far that you do get a dub for it now and all that, rather than back in the day where it could kind of be gate-kept or not even leave Japan sometimes.
Yeah, no, it was. I was surprised that when Bandai announced it that they used the dub for the trailer, which was really cool. So
yeah. You talked about like the different performances in like a video game or some of the more muted moments in the show, and like you're involved with a lot of action-heavy series, but I loved your performances in like Sing a Bit of Harmony and Goodbye, Don Glees.
Oh, thank you.
And like these very subdued kind of more slice-of-life films. Is it fun to kind of be involved with that change of pace and do that kind of work? Because I imagine it's a very different animal than like a battle show.
Yeah, totally. I think just like as a fan of media in general, like different things in general, it's fun to get to mix it up. And especially like it's all the same technique wise in terms of like what I'm doing technically from an acting standpoint, but it's unique in just like the muscles I'm getting to flex, I guess, as an actor. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's also really fun working with different directors, different studios and things like that. So projects like Goodbye Don't Glees were really fun. I just was in oh crap, what's it called? It's a basketball movie. The first Slam Dunk. Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the first Slam Dunk, which was also that was my first sports anime.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, and I am not necessarily like a big sports anime guy. Like I haven't watched a ton of sports anime, and I went and saw this movie, and I was like, holy crap! Like how could you not watch that and be hyped? Like it was a really, really, really good movie. So that was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that franchise's reputation before I saw that movie, and was kind of blown away at just how long it's been going on and just the success it has as a basketball show. It's great, and it looks beautiful. Like it looks like real people being like rotoscoped.
Yeah, the use of like different animation styles in that movie was really, really cool.
Yeah. No, I love it. There's been such like interesting changes in JJK's manga and anime since the last time you were at New York Comic Con as well, and like some huge things have been going on in the manga right now.
Yeah.
Are you excited to interact with fans and kind of talk about those developments and just see how they've been taking it all?
Oh yeah. Like what's really cool about our cast is we're well studied, so we're caught up on the manga. We're reading it regularly. We care a lot, so we definitely like to chat with the fans. There's a million theories right now about where things are headed, what's up with Yuji, like what's going on. So it's yes, I love personally talking to the fans and hearing different theories. It's rare these days to get to hear something that I haven't heard yet. But you never know. That one person's going to be like, what about this? And I'm going to be like, oh my God, New York Comic-Con. That's when I found out, whatever. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. There are a lot of really, really, really smart people who like anime. And it's real. I thoroughly enjoy that.
You mentioned that big brain mentality, but like there is such a hive mind of like the Reddits and stuff of how people put clues together and really
Deep
like
dive. It's literally like some like unsolved mysteries level investigative journalism going on. Yeah, it's cool.
Because I know some different directors will sometimes be against having their actors read the manga ahead of time to know what's going on with their characters. Do you think that's helpful? Like, have you done both of those?
Yeah, I mean, so for shows like JJK, where I'm like a pretty integral part of the series, for me, if someone told me not to read the manga, I would do it anyway, just because like I think that's dumb.
Sure, I mean you're a fan too.
Yeah. And not even because I'm a fan. Like I think that there is something to being able to see where something's going as an actor and realize that maybe like the point of a scene earlier is to have the audience feel this way after it. And if you don't know the whole story, you might not realize that until later on, and then you'd be like, oh, I wish I could go back and do that thing. So I like to have an idea of where things are going and where things, so I can go back and see the point of things to maybe add in some extra like layer or nuance to a scene. There's a lot of stuff where we see Yuji really happy, and later on you might be like, oh shoot, like that's why that line was delivered like that and stuff. So to me, it's really important to do that. Now, with that said, the nature of the industry is like sometimes I get a call at like 9 p.m. the night before I'm supposed to be in the studio tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and they're like, you're going to be on, I'm not on One Piece, but for example, you're going to be on One Piece. Like I couldn't then sit and watch One Piece to get caught up or read the manga to see where, to see where it's at. So what I love about animation, whether it's dubbing or prelay, is there's a lot of collaboration. Like you're not in there in that booth by yourself. You're working with a good, team and stuff. So like in those instances where I can't get caught up, I'm relying heavily on the director to add context, to fill in the blanks, because they're the ones who are really supposed to know everything. But yeah, so it kind of depends. But for JJK specifically, I like to make sure that I'm caught up and know what's going on.
And I mean, it would be kind of brutal. Like, obviously, the fans you're talking to are so caught up that for them to casually refer to something that you might not know yourself, you'd be like, what are you spoiling this me for,
Yeah, well, word on the street is Bryce Papenbrook is not caught up on AOT. Like, he wanted to make sure that he could, do it from a fresh set of eyes, which obviously it's working. Bryce is killing it.
Yeah.
But I know that he's had to, like, really avoid spoilers. Like, the man's jumping around and making sure. Yeah.
So. That's so funny. Just those different approaches.
Yeah.
Do you have like any favorite moments from the second season so far? Like stuff that's happened, not spoilers, obviously, that just have stood out to you?
I mean, the whole hidden inventory arc was amazing. Like seeing all like the Gojo Geto relationship and all of that stuff, and just the betrayal, and then right where that leads into in the Shibuya arc. I guess, without spoiling anything that's coming and only referring to stuff that's coming out, like the pain that we feel when Gojo is, I guess, trapped in this box right when he sees Geto, and then they have that moment where he's like, wait, he looks like him, but I can feel it in my heart and soul that it's not him, and all that stuff has been amazing. So and where we're going is, I keep saying JJK, like I'm totally on the JJK hype train. Like as a fan, I'm totally on the JJK hype train. It's hard because I don't want to overhype things, because when things get overhyped, you can be let down. But I do think that the season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen has a lot of potential to be like one of the greatest season 2s that we've seen from a modern anime. So I'm very excited. And where we're going in Shibuya is also really cool. So utter devastation is like,
the first season I just thought was like, this is a great shonen show, but this season has really like elevated it, I think, and it feels different, it feels special. The animation is gorgeous. Like Mappa has so much on their plate that it's wild that each of their projects can still look that good.
How many people work there? Do you guys sleep? Do you eat food?
But you have those iconic moments from the manga that really look even better sometimes in the show. Like, it's really incredible.
Yeah, totally. The episode we just got where Gojo basically explodes Hanami against the wall was, I mean, that was so cool.
Yeah,
that was
so
so cool. Yeah, how could you not like Gojo? That was so cool.
Well, yeah, thank you so much, Adam. Once again, Den of Otaku, talking to Adam McArthur here, and yeah,
Dude,
thank you.
Thank you so much, man.
Of course.
Appreciate it.